serving, then we'll have it published as an adult book. And I will stop thinking that this is a children's book. But if they like it, then you have to give it to the children's editor at HarperCollins. So she read it to Emily and Morgan, they loved it. She phoned me up a week later saying they loved it, they weren't scared at all. And I said, great, so give it to Elise Howard at Harper Children's. There is a little postscript to that, which is back in, when was the Gaiman musical, July? Probably. In the summer, Stephen Merritt did a musical of Caroline. And Merrily, my agent, was there, and she brought her daughters, Emily and Morgan, who are now two wonderful, very beautiful, very poised young women. I went over to them at the end of the thing. I said, you know, it's because of you two that this actually has happened. This thing being done for children is all because your mom read you Caroline and neither of you were scared. And Morgan said, I was fucking terrified. She said, but I didn't want to let on because I was enjoying it too much and I really wanted to know what happened next. So, there you go.
I'm just wondering, how will you categorize some of your own fiction? I mean, will you do so like some are like the young ones, some for teenagers, something like How to Talk to Girls at Parties, which to me is really a great yarn about adolescence and growing up, and some of the rest are for consenting adults.
Some stories I will definitely, if I'm doing something book length, I will probably have in the back of my head an ideal reader. And the ideal reader, in some ways, is always going to be me. But it's going to be me, sometimes it's me now, and sometimes it's me age 8 or 9, and sometimes it might be me age 4. And, you know, in the case of the story like How to Talk to Girls at Parties, that was a story I probably would have really loved when I was 15 or 16. And it's just about, and I would have found it really frustrating because I was like, what happened upstairs in that room? You know, but, yeah, I like, but I don't really categorize stories very much. I do, when I sit down, I definitely have an idea of, okay, this is, if I'm writing fiction that's probably going to be for children in some ways, there are topics that I might avoid. You know, but then there are also topics that you go, kids don't have as much of a problem with this as you think. The great example